G, menace to society and to boxes.
Box is in society, and I have to... Alright, let me just test the 3 box and make sure it worked. It worked! Yeah! Alright. Okay, so we're all set up. Just give me a minute, I'll be right back.
Is that your home now, Jinx? Is that where you stay? Whatever, dude. Today has been a weird day, so.
Tell me about it.
Slept 3 hours, got up at 6:30 to take my dog to the vet to get her fixed.
Fine.
And then went shopping with my mom and my aunt, which is really weird. Because my mom and I don't even really get along that well.
Oh.
And yeah, my dog's on the couch, just totally out of it.
Well, I'm glad to say that my mom and I get along great. We just shout Grease references towards each other. Hey, Mom, is that a dessert wine? She's like, yeah, I bought some Twinkies.
My mom is a religious and kind of that.
Oh, I see.
I'm a vegan. Kind of hard to be around someone that doesn't like bacon, you know? Oh, yeah.
Somebody asked me, what's your idea of a perfect day? I said, October 31st.
There you go.
He should be easy to find. You want to try it again? You want that? Okay, so it's going to be $109. Anyway, if I get hit by one more injury bomb, you're gonna bet. There it is. There's a room to lose. Right on it. Yeah. Wow, I really miscalculated that. Yeah, what were you doing? What was going for us? Action, Joey, time grenade. Oh yeah, I'll take that. Hurry up. It's a force.
No.
Now, just set it to a day that's not Halloween. Okay, there. December 25th. That's Christmas. Oh, December 24th. Okay, maybe let's disable it. That was the time to it's about to blow. It was the set for it. Oh, it's not so bad. It says it was set to February 29th. That's not really a day anybody needed it. Plus, I had a 1/4 song, so it's still once every 4 years. What? Oh, I'm just sleeping. That's my favorite one. Yeah, not for long.
Guess he's just one of those people that has one of those faces. The guy that plays Rio, the psychopath. I was like, he looks familiar, but I'm looking at like his, everything. I'm like, I watch those shows, but I don't. It's only like one-off characters. Like I said, you might just have one of those faces.
Well, there is one actress, and there are some actors and actresses who I don't know their names. So I just like when I try to get people to like know who I'm talking about, I just describe the attributes that they do when they act. Like, and like they're like, oh my god, I know who you're talking about, but I don't know their name either. Like, you know that actress who like always talks through the side of her mouth?
Oh.
That'd be good.
Alright, so... I think we should be ready. Well, I'll wait till Jake gives me the all clear. Or is that for Once Upon a Time tonight?
No, I'm gonna do something else for Once Upon a Time.
Okay.
Yeah, the doctor in this episode, he's played on a lot of stuff. Ones you probably know.
Which one? The guy Declan?
He was in The Walking Dead.
Hey.
He played one episode. He was on 24. He was on Lost. He was on Law and Order for a little bit. He was on Fringe. He was on The Mentalist. He was on CSI. He was on Hawaii Five-0. He was in Scandal for quite a few episodes.
Isn't everybody in Scandal?
I don't know. And he's looks like he's 6 episodes in Inhumans so far. He's still on the he's still on the TV series The 100.
Oh jeez.
Huh?
I'm hoping we get Triton back because
King Triton.
well, he's listed as being in 5 episodes.
I so wanted to just go to bed when I got home today.
Yeah, so did I.
We are in
I'm
the
gonna
clear.
switch headphones.
Alright. So, as soon as that's done, we shall begin.
There. Alright. I'm done with that.
Hello, Ashley, from the car.
Don't
I hope,
text and drive.
Or-
It's not good.
I hope you're a passenger.
Right.
No, I'm in the trunk.
I'm in the trunk. Can someone help me?
I do hope that's not the case, also. I mean, trunks in some of these cars nowadays are comfortable, but still not a good place to be. I hit a wrong button.
Well, that's not gonna help, is it?
Nope. Is that a popcorn necklace or teeth?
Neither. It's puka shells.
Oh!
My daughter brought it back from Hawaii for me.
Hawaii.
She went to Hawaii this summer
I know.
for like 2 weeks.
I remember.
That's all bright because of the lights. Yeah, she went and swam with the dolphins and all this other kind of stuff.
Hawaii. They could have seen. She could have seen. I don't know if they're filming on location in Hawaii. She could have seen them filming Inhumans.
She might have. I don't know if they were doing it over there in July. She left on the 4th of July.
The new CBS show Bull, where with the guy who was on NCIS for like 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
They were filming on my block, right up the street.
Yeah, I don't know. It might have been.
I think they were doing like an outdoor walking on the street shot because they had 4 blocks closed off.
Yeah.
So I'm like, they can't just be using. There's a couple of nice houses they could be using around here for shots and stuff like that, but they can't. They're not going to close off that much just for a house. They're doing something more in depth. And they film like half of the outdoor scenes of the Blacklist around here.
Well, we had Grimm for a while.
I have bullet casings from the Blacklist, like from their blanks that they fired on set. Nice. They didn't. Either they either didn't bother cleaning up, or these were just ones they missed. All right, Jake, you're good?
I'm good.
Okay, music cued. Just gonna double check everything. Cue. That's set. That's set. Bing, bing, bing. Set a Rooney. All right. Ashley's riding in the back of the car. It's better than the trunk. Alright then. Starting this party. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Warning, this podcast contains spoilers. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of the As Seen on TV podcast for The Inhumans. Episode 4, Make Way for Medusa. I'm your host Mike, and joining me is Rachel and Jake. Jake adding makeup to more of his podcasts and getting more creative in the process.
My Inhuman persona that I would like to be. There are some Inhumans that are specifically modified to look like other races. And I just picture myself, maybe this is a race in the Marvel Universe somewhere, of skeletal reptile men. I really like reptiles, so I just want to be one.
That works.
So think about it. Skeletons of a reptile, but they're living. But they have like a bit of skin on them. And they're also...
like a zombie?
Yeah, I guess so.
A zombie stick.
But they're not rotting.
Okay.
There's a RPG out now that you can play as an undead lizard man. So I don't have to go far to imagine it.
Well, I want to see more things like this. Well, better production value, obviously. Well, maybe I should question the production value of the show.
I guess maybe. I like how they creatively avoided showing any of Gorgon's lower legs. Like all shots were from the thigh up.
But he still walked like he had hooves, which was really good on the actor's part.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's good. Getting creative.
And also, Black Bolt, no Streamy.
No Streamy.
He has many chances to, destroy people, but
he
doesn't. Doesn't bother.
We don't have the budget.
No, he's a pacifist.
I mean,
no, he's not.
In that end fight, he does cleverly reach for the gas tank and pull the pipe, and just release gas everywhere. And I mean, what's to stop Orin from shooting you in the 2 seconds it takes you to reach for the pipe? It's like, oh, he just made a sudden move. I'm gonna watch what he's doing before I shoot him. It's like...
she doesn't... They don't want him really dead.
Oh, yeah, that was
the genetic.
Right, that was it.
They don't want him dead.
That was like 10 minutes before, and I completely forgot about with that scene. That just annoyed me so much that it blinded me to the rest of the episode.
Yeah, and that was quite a shocker. With the Doctor and Max. I was not expecting that.
No. So, yeah, Black Bolt and his prison buddy make it to Declan's lab, where Declan discovers that, Black Bolt is his DNA is so different from the other Inhumans he studied. Well,
it's there's no human DNA whatsoever.
It's all polka dots.
Right.
Yeah,
so
it's weird. It's almost as if you're not human.
Almost. Wow. So whereas Maximus became fully human in his Terrigenesis, Black Bolt became fully inhuman.
Isn't that interesting?
Isn't that interesting? And then he gets on the communicator, and he's talking to Max. Which, I agree, I did not see coming. I can't. It's like everybody's a bad guy. Everybody's a secret bad guy.
Everyone is a secret bad guy. Well, some people are not even secret bad guys. Some people, I'm just like...
How is Max communicating? There's a way that Max is communicating. He's been in communication with this doctor for a long time, apparently. How? What? How? I need all the answers.
Some answers would be nice. But...
You know what else would be nice? Some substance.
Maybe, yes. I mean, this whole thing sets off Maximus's part in this episode, which, out of all the characters on the show, he's the most interesting. So far.
Well, that's not saying much. I mean, he's the most compelling character, I think, on this show. On this motherfucking show.
He is the most compelling character. And...
Well, I feel like... So, I'm not sure if... I'm confused. Are we, the audience, supposed to be rooting for Black Bolt? And against Maximus?
Yeah, supposedly. Allegedly.
But I think someone had switched the scripts, but they never noticed, and they just kept filming.
I don't know. There's reasons. Obviously they showed a little bit of a glimpse. Reason why Medusa is kind of a bitch to everyone, and why she is the way she is, and we don't know what transpired between her family and their family, and how she became, wed to Black Bolt and all this other kind of shit, when apparently she and Max were a thing or something. So
settled and
I don't. There's something, and she's upset and she's pissy about it, and she doesn't like it or something. I don't know, but whatever.
Clearly, from all the other comics and animated things and video games and everything, Black Bolt is the good guy and Maximus is the bad guy.
Well,
it's
okay, these
pretty cut and dry.
So I want to say that the characters are not necessarily, these versions of the characters are not necessarily out of character. But which is the problem with the Inhumans, at the very least the royal family as a whole.
Well, you know what?
They're very, aristocratic, and there's an aristocracy to the Inhuman society.
It's very much like Europe in with all their
they're
France,
the higher caste. They live in the fancy area, in the fancier walls. They get
whatever role you were born into is the role that you're going to serve for the rest of your life, and you can't move up or down.
Yeah, and also, with the marriages were all family, pretty much, to keep that blood alive. And this is because she's like, that's his cousin, and they're both cousins, and they're all cousins. Because she's Black Bolt's cousin, and she's Max's cousin, and she's also cousins with the other guys. Everyone's cousins. Everyone is related because they want to keep their bloodline up here and everything. Because I mean, if you think about it, it's basically a city on the moon. It's so small. There's no new DNA or genetics coming in, so everyone right now is probably related.
Probably
I guess
distantly related.
I guess in a sense they are all related because, well, I'm not sure how Inhumans exactly work in the MCU. If they're going to go with the comics, is that Inhumans themselves come from, what are they called? Celestials. They were all born from one Celestial, in a sense. So technically all Inhumans are related.
Right. I don't know if they're going to go that way. So far they've gone with the Kree experiment route.
Yes. Well, what's interesting is in the comics, the Celestials came and they did experiments on, the people, the humans that were here. But with the Inhumans are kind of offshoots of mutants, at least in some versions, where mutants, are just like a natural thing that happen, but the Celestials used the mutants, or at least the humans that had mutant DNA, and experimented on those specifically to create Inhumans.
It makes me feel like they are. Sounds really. They're the purebred Inhumans kind of thing. You know what I mean? They are the direct line of Inhumans, while the people on Earth are the offshoots.
Like I would say, yeah, I guess so.
I guess it's the only way I could describe it. Kind of, it's like.
I mean, that's the route they seem to be going with it.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's one specific bloodline. And that's the royal family, and then we have other similar gene pools that are still related, but not identical to the royal family.
Yeah.
And those are the offshoots that we get on Earth.
Right.
Quite possibly.
Yeah, quite possibly. We finally, at the end, get the Black Bolt Medusa reunion that we were. I think Rachel and I talked about this last week. Hopefully it's not
Are we wanting this?
Well, we were not wanting a just that, that close. So
just
close,
missed him.
Just missed him.
That kind of thing.
We didn't want that to be going on for the next 6 episodes.
I was hoping they wouldn't, and I'm glad they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I still find Blondie a little bit annoying.
Crystal? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she's a princess.
Louise! No, Louise.
Oh, Louise. Yeah, she's a little eccentric.
She's so annoying. She's really annoying.
I mean, she's got a queen bossing her around. She's probably not used to that.
No. Most people aren't.
But I mean...
with Crystal, I think she does have that royal, but she's also naive and innocent because no one's ever explained things to her. She's just went along with it, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And when he high-fived her, she's like, "No one's ever touched me before." That's really odd. Unusual.
Yeah, definitely unusual.
I'm sure someone gave birth to you, so they should have touched you.
But she was really young. I mean, when her parents were, they kept saying her parents died. We kept getting that vibe that her parents died, but then in the flashback, they're like, your parents are exiled. Where are they exiled to?
Outside.
And did they die there?
Oh, I was going to say, where do you...
like there's more than one person being exiled because they've exiled a lot of other people.
where do you exile them to? To the outside of the dome? Because in that case, they're dead.
Well, I don't know. Do you think maybe they're exiled to that one place that we went to in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Oh, to, whatever the hell the place was called.
Haven? Is that what it's called?
No, it was something... I can't even remember the name of it. That's how long
Maybe
ago
they get
war.
exiled to the center of the moon. They have a prison down there.
No, I mean, throw them out an airlock is what I was thinking. But, no, yeah, maybe they got sent to that place where Daisy's mom went crazy and ran amok.
Amok.
They're remaking that, by the way.
Great.
But yeah, I mean, they get these two different things, and they're going to have to get a backstory onto what happened between their families.
Mm-hmm. But, I mean, I guess let's finish talking about the only character I give a shit about. Maximus. He wants to use this DNA discovery and some of the genetic information of the Inhumans living on Earth, the less pure Inhumans, and he wants to do some Marvel, Star Trek, science, technobabble stuff to his DNA and go through Terrigenesis again. And then just maybe... I would laugh if he went through all that and he came back out perfectly human again. Like, fuck you.
I mean, he didn't like what the council had to say, apparently.
Well, apparently he had a friend on the council who, I like that. Like, oh, yeah, you should be a lot more terrified that your whole family has it out for you. It's like, what the, you're the guy who fucking abandoned me when my Terrigenesis went south and I became a human. Like, you just...
It's kind of hard right now. It's kind of hard to be like, this is a bad person, this is a good person, because you can understand where Max is coming from.
Yes.
You can understand that when he became human and not an Inhuman anymore, everyone just abandoned him. They just fine, whatever, you're like trash, get away,
This is the story of somebody who should be the main protagonist of a series.
Yeah.
If they were... This is an easy fix if you just switch the roles. If you made Maximus the main character and then Black Bolt, and I know that's Black Bolt has always been the hero.
Yes.
In the comics anyway. Or in any kind of other media that he's been in.
The silent hero.
But if you honestly read and you really think about the role that the royal family plays, they're kind of shitty people.
As were many royal families throughout history.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's always been the problem with the Inhumans. And I was thinking when this series started that maybe they were going to tackle those issues, and maybe they would do some commentary on this is a royal family and they are strict in their ways, and maybe that's wrong.
But they're not. I mean, they are portraying them as the royal as being they're very entitled. They're very, and they are, and I'm glad they are, because that's what happens.
They're portraying them. Yeah, go ahead.
They're portraying them very, very correctly as they are, really.
They're portraying them in a way that I'm actually considering, and there's no hard defined lines here, but I'm considering rooting for the bad guy in this show because of the way they're portraying,
but
good guys.
I don't think that's the intent, though, which is why this show frustrates me so much.
Because you think it's an accidental, they struck gold accidentally.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
And I think Crystal is young enough and she's curious enough that she's neither or. She's not like her sister, but she's, not on the other side. She's just in between going, what the hell's going on?
Pretty much. I mean, she also has a giant teleporting dog, so that's...
Her puppy!
Puppy! Well, I'm glad it's okay.
Oh god, that animation is really bad.
Yeah.
I've seen worse.
Me too.
Yeah.
I think they blew all their budget on the first 2 episodes.
Right.
I think they blew all their budget on So what they needed is somebody said to them, okay, so guys, we got to make this show. Does anybody want to do it? They're like, no. So I think they all just like spent their money on a vacay.
And then why not?
Yeah, and then when it came time to actually do the shit, they're like, weren't we supposed to do a job?
Yeah. And the other, royal family Inhumans are, they're pretty much, I read a short blurb about it, they're spinning their wheels this week. They've done nothing of substance, really. Gorgon buried the guy that died for him when Orin and the party attacked. Mm-hmm. Karnak increased efficiency of an illegal pot farm.
Got laid.
Went swimming in, like, I thought he was about to be like, I can't swim. He probably can't swim.
No, he can't. She already said he can't swim. We'll just start by coming in.
Oh, that was right.
Walk in.
And then, in the end, he winds up getting laid. Which...
But what I found funny was, okay, it's like, good for you, but he didn't sit there and think about, what the another train, like, what's going on, going to happen next, and this, and this, and this, which is kind of cool.
She was trying, her whole thing was she's trying to get him to not go purely on logic.
Mm-hmm.
Also, he's still recovering from the concussion, so, he doesn't trust his powers right now.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't trust much anyone because he called what's-his-face a psychopath, which he is.
Yeah. Well, if it was your idea to take over an acre of public park and start growing pot, you'd be a little crazy too.
Not like that crazy.
Okay, maybe not like that crazy. That is a certain kind of crazy.
It is a certain kind of crazy.
Yeah. And Triton, for all we know, is still in the ocean.
He becomes King Triton and has a daughter named Ariel.
That's a Tumblr theory right there.
He's that Triton.
He's that Triton.
Well, I would, love this show so much better if that were the case.
Right?
But
that'd be so awesome.
The one last point that I need to talk about, and then I can talk about whatever else, I don't care. How incompetent Orin is. Like, I understand she doesn't want to kill Black Bolt. Yet. Doesn't mean she doesn't have to, keep everybody else alive. But, he rips the pipe off, gas is everywhere. Smart move. Now if Mortis takes his mask off, we all blow up. And then she tells Mortis to do it anyway. After he gets hit by Medusa's car door opening attack, which...
Opening door attack. That is a great move on Super Smash Brothers that
I was going to say, it's a special move in a new fighting game. Look it up. And then he looks up at the gas tank, takes his mask off, and fires the laser. And he knocks everybody out that he doesn't need to knock out. Orin gets burned and, knocked down. All of her cronies, the same thing. And Medusa and Black Bolt share a loving kiss. And
then they take Echo Chick.
Yes. And then they take Echo Chick. But
that woman, I don't know. She's...
like, what the hell, woman?
I don't know. Mortis is like, he's like that sarcastic comic relief in this whole entire thing, and I wanted to hear more from him because he's they're walking into this, and he's just like, why are we in the jungle? What's going?
Like,
he's so done with it. He's so done.
And I would have liked to see giant fiery face laser versus, atomic bomb shattering scream.
But what's funny is I don't think they look deathly scared of him, yes, but I don't think he even cares. He's just like, I just want to be free. I don't care. I don't want to hurt you guys. I don't give a flying rat's behind.
Look, it sucks that my face is brighter than the sun, but,
yeah.
I just want to... I want to have a shack in the woods, be left alone, not going to kill anybody.
He doesn't seem like a good guy. He doesn't seem like a bad guy. He just seems like someone that is just doing this to get out.
As I think we talked about it last week, he's the guy who, crystal drop, missed. Holy shit, he's powerful enough to obliterate Adelan on a whim, lock him in isolation.
Right, yeah.
And the only reason that didn't happen at Black Bolt is because he was the prince. He was the oldest son of the king. Because, we know for sure that if he was anything but the prince, the crown prince, then he would have been locked in an isolation chamber for the rest of his life.
Yes, he would have been. But yeah, I just think that he's not a bad guy or not a good guy. He's just a guy. He's just a guy that wants to just be left alone. He seems like that's just the kind of, I don't know. That's what I get from him. I don't know about you. That's what I get from him.
I mean, he's
sarcastic as hell.
He probably wouldn't mind offing some of the royal family just because.
I wouldn't mind offing the royal family off just because.
Yeah. Like, at this point, I'm invested completely in Maximus and his plot line.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of
I'm interested in how long he's been communicating with people on Earth and putting this on to play.
Right. That, and I'm curious how they're going to roll this into the next season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., because that is the running rumor right now that, when Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. starts, the last episode of Inhumans before that is going to lead straight into it.
I'm also curious. I know I don't read the comics. I haven't read any of these comics. I've heard of some of these comics, and I've told Mike this last week. I'm going in this totally blind, not really knowing the characters' names, but never reading their comic books or never knowing anything about them. So, but going into this, when the Doctor told Black Bolt, he was like, what happened, what's with his voice and stuff like that. He's like, okay, that's what's going on with your voice. Well, maybe we could figure a way to help you control it and harness it. I'm like, that's actually kind of cool. What if they made something for him to put around his neck, kind of like, to suppress it enough that he could actually talk for the first time in like decades?
I feel like they explored that in one of the comics at some point, because that sounds horribly familiar to me. But I don't know, he's already disciplined and trained himself to never speak.
But yeah, it'd be really hard for him to do it. I can understand. I could see that.
Like,
being very interesting.
He got tased, and all he said was "oof," because if he didn't go through all that training, he got tased. He would have done what most people do, when they get tased, like grunt, shit, ow, whatever. Like, he just went, ooh, which was enough to destroy a cop car.
Like Chell in Portal.
Well,
But yeah, I think it might be interesting. And the Doctor seems to be a little like, thanks, Max, for all your help and everything you've done. I'm taking this on my own now. Bye. That's what the vibe I got from him.
I have a strange feeling the Doctor doesn't really know the full.
Max didn't tell him who he is. He just thinks he's just someone on the end of the little column. He doesn't know who he is.
I don't know if I missed it this episode or not, but is he even aware that Max is on the moon?
I don't think so. He knows his name is Max. That's about it.
Just some guy with a lot of knowledge of Inhumans who's been helping him out.
That's all I got. I don't think he even knows. But he kind of pieced Max out after he said that. He was just like,
"Thanks for your help, bro."
Yeah.
Yes. Well, that would be good. A good direction for, the protagonists, if that were the case.
Yeah.
I doubt it, but I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see how it goes. I mean, as I was saying, I'm going in this totally blind. I'm kind of enjoying it. There are some things that are just annoying to me, and I'm just like, very much Medusa's attitude. I'm just like, no, can we not have that?
No, thank you. But
I'm glad they shaved your head.
I get it, but
Now, see, wouldn't it be great? See, there are just so many plot lines and things that happen to other characters that should be happening to our main character. Medusa's head being shaved. her losing her powers. This should have been Black Bolt's story. Him losing his powers.
Yeah.
I still like to know if her hair grows back, if her powers come back.
I mean, we're under the assumption that they would, but who knows at this point. Anyway, the next episode is called Something Inhuman This Way Comes.
Oh.
Getting all overly dramatic.
Yes.
On the run from Orin's forces, Black Bolt and Medusa reluctantly work with Louise to help locate the rest of their family. Back on Adeline, Maximus's actions change the game completely.
Coulson is dead, and the team is in danger.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Like, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. Like,
I'm hoping this is like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Where
they need the first couple episodes of crap. Yeah.
Yeah.
They
like
need
towards episode 6. They might get their groove, and then we can finally say, okay, you know, I'm glad I stuck through.
Yeah, and that's part of the reason I'm sticking with it, because I remember doing that. Like, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 1, that was coincidentally the first year we were doing these podcasts. I remember getting halfway through, and I'm just like... I think I even said on one of the podcasts, I love Marvel, but I don't love this.
No. Yeah.
And then literally the next week, I'm like, I take it back. I fucking love it.
What episode was that for you? Because some people say people say they have different episodes of when Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. like turned around for them. For the most part, it's, you know, the Winter Soldier episode.
I gotta go back and look.
Episode.
Yeah. Well, I'm just hoping that right now they could do so much with the Black Bolt character, even though he's not speaking. There's so much more they could do with him. Right now, him and Medusa are just very vanilla.
But
not the good vanilla.
But not the good vanilla.
No,
the vanilla.
They're the imitation vanilla dairy product.
The imitation vanilla dairy product that smells more like alcohol than anything else, and it's just, it tastes wrong.
Yeah.
We want some good homemade vanilla here, but not getting.
They're shallow. Their characters are so not like their personalities, but their characters are so shallow, and they don't have any depth. And it's like they're trying to give Medusa some depth with the flashbacks of her talking to Bolt's parents about her parents stuff, which but we need more. We need something more to grab onto. Something more.
Like, it must be the easiest acting gig. One of the easiest acting gigs. It's like, okay, here's your motivation. You can't speak or everybody dies. So we're going to need you to stand there.
I hope he doesn't get paid by the word.
Yeah, I know, right? That would suck. You're just going to stand there, look menacing, and very serious and contemplative. And occasionally...
Move your eyebrows. And
occasionally you're going to shoot 2 or 3 words in sign language. But that's it.
Yeah. There's a way to make it interesting, and right now they're not making the nonsense interesting.
I mean, I want to say...
They're not making the heroes interesting. So heroes. Yes, I said heroes.
Which, given it its chance, right now I like the villain. And...
there's a reason why he's doing his stuff. There's reason why behind what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
And
they're unjustified, and their reasons are we want to go back. Why do you want to go back? What is back there for you?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Let Maximus run Adeline. You guys, I mean, there's got to be some things they're not telling us clearly.
Mm-hmm.
But live on Earth amongst the humans. There's plenty of room.
Mm-hmm.
But
you know, here's the thing: humans hate you.
Yes, they hate you because, you know, you are the stand-in for mutants in the MCU, and you're going to be catching all the shit.
All of it.
All of it.
You're the reason
hurricanes happen.
Yeah, and a lot of people hate you for that.
I mean, there may be an Inhuman where that is actually the case. It may be his or her fault that a hurricane hit, but because
there are a lot.
their powers.
I want to see some Inhumans with stupid ass powers who they're not useful at all. They don't even have powers. They don't have power. They just look ugly. They're just there to look nasty, and like nobody wants anything to do with them. They're like, okay, you guys, you can live in the sewers, or like in the gutters or whatever, because like you guys are nasty. We don't like you.
Like, it's like Black Bolt's prison buddy. Like, what's your power? My hands get hot. And yes, he found a use for that power, but
he has hot hands.
What's just have an Inhuman where they have a useless power and they never find a use for their power. I want an Inhuman, like a fucking Inhuman that like they have lasers, but they're just for pointing.
They're a cat toy. They're a human cat toy.
You ever see? You ever watch Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog?
No, I haven't. A human cat toy. That's hilarious. He's going like this. The cat's from.
Well, in the sing-along blog, Dr. Horrible has a friend who his name is Moist. His superpower is he's always sweating. He's always wet. He's like, do you need anything slightly moistened? You know, need me to seal some envelopes for you? I'm your guy.
I'm just thinking of like for kids in like my age group, there was a Lilo and Stitch TV series, and it was actually pretty good. And so the entire series was about finding Stitch's cousins, all the other experiments, and finding out like what their powers are, because each of them has their own power. There's one there, and they encounter some that just have stupid powers. There's one experiment where his powers is he makes socks disappear.
That little fucker. That's where they went.
Yeah.
Like, can we have that, please? There are Inhumans, and there are also mutants in the books that are literally useless.
Yeah.
Oh, they can fold fitted sheets.
That's very useful. Don't you wow me. That is very useful.
I can fold a fitted sheet, so.
Mm-hmm. I would like to see some... this is interesting. Because Inhumans are the stand-in for mutants in the MCU, mutants are not... Oh, they're not just human mutants. There are other races and there are other like different aliens out there who also have mutants of their own, and it's really interesting. There's one cute little adorable alien mutant that goes to Professor Xavier's school. He's like 3 feet tall and he wears like a little leather jacket with his little school books, and he's just like running around being a little badass, and he's adorable.
Yeah, so I don't know. I just hope that they really
ramp it up.
They need to put more into these characters, because so far we're rooting for the bad people, and I don't think that's what they want.
Or just the bad person. I don't give a shit about Orin and all her cronies there. I'm just rooting for Maximus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The rest of them can fuck off. I mean, I get Orin can be incompetent because apparently she's immortal, but God, woman.
She's kind of plain too, so.
Yeah.
I just want Raina back.
Yes, give me Raina back.
Sorry.
She's
off doing movies.
Yeah.
Good for her.
No, yes, good for her, exactly.
And she was the coolest looking character on the series.
But yeah. I think we said our piece about this. They just need... Come on! We know that... Well, these have already been shot, so there's nothing really we can... can do about it now.
Not too late to refilm.
Well, anyway, that's our show. We have said our piece. Rachel, where can they find you?
They can find me at Twitter at VikingWitch76 and on Twitch at VikingWitch.
Jake, where can they find you?
You can find me and all of my giggles and gore and monsters and mayhem here on YouTube at Jacob Saws, or you can find me on Twitter, tweeting me throughout the life at TNowhereland. That is TONOWHERELEND. Join the Nowhereland Society.
I was waiting for you to add the Instagram back in there, but...
No, I'm not doing that. I'm done adding things.
I'm done adding.
I'm sorry, every time he does that, it just completely throws me off. I'm just sitting here like... And now for my lame outro. You can find me on Twitter at Thilindrin. You can find all of us on Facebook, Twitter, Gmail, Google+, MySpace, and YouTube. at ASOTV Podcast. You could follow us at those places for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows, movies, and games. Thank you all for watching.
We'll see some of you later.
Well, yes, if you're watching live, 9 minutes, and they're doing Once Upon a Time.
So, Mike, we need to talk about branding with you, okay?
Yes, we do.
Branding. We need to get you out there.
Okay, there is a Giggles and Gore and Monsters and Mayhem brand that I have put out there, and you can market that shit. It's really good.
All right, I'm gonna go use the restroom before Dom calls.
Okay. I don't know what I can market other than the fact that I apparently make creative D&D villains.
Well, find the thing that works for you, and make sure that nobody does what you do, and you're good. Give it a name, give it a clever name that people can gravitate towards, and that's easy to say, and it rolls off the tongue.
That'll work. Alright, thank you all for watching, taking this down. As mentioned, Once Upon a Time, few minutes.
Yep, and I gotta wipe this shit off and put more